Right, so we are going to be making sand art today. I'm going to teach you how to make something like this. If you want to be creative and do your own thing, please do absolutely do that. You can do whatever you want with this session. I am going to carry on and do something like this. We have in our kits your wooden backing board. You have a double-sided sticky piece of paper. You have 8 different coloured sand pots. Mine are slightly different to yours because these are the ones that I bought before I bought your ones. You have a craft knife, a Sharpie type thing, and a permanent marker, I should probably say. They're not branded. And a paintbrush for smushing the sand in. We will be using all of these things today. But as you can tell on here, I've got more than 8 colours on here. So you can mix these sand colours and you can do whatever you want. You will be able to do a bit of a rainbow if you want to do your own pattern, do whatever you want. It's absolutely fine. Let me just close that up. I hope that no one's joining that. I feel like I've done something wrong because people aren't joining, but I hope that it's just that people are busy. I know I've been using the word smushing a lot. I love it. So shall we get started? I think it's just me and you, Hendy, to be honest, doing it right now. But anyone that's watching later, I think people are busy. I've got a few people that I know who are on holiday. My sister's in London. Someone else is on holiday. Yeah, lots of people busy. It's a busy time of year. Right, so we are going to start with our block of wood. These are perfect because they're nice and flat on the front. They're not too heavy. They're lovely framed and they are great. Oh, hi, Diane. Oh, yes. There we go. We've got Diane, Dawn, and Mia. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? This is going to be a really lovely one. Did you hear me saying just now that you can do whatever you want? Diane was very good in our live mosaic in-person workshop the other day. We did an in-person workshop in Portishead and it was really good and everyone did something completely different. So if you're feeling not super confident, you're very welcome to carry on and copy mine exactly or as close as you can. If you want to be creative and do whatever you want, please do that. So you have lots of different colors here. I'll turn these upside down so you can see. So we've got all the colors of the rainbow pretty much. We've got a very light sandy color, which you can use as a white substitute. And you can mix the colors. So if you know anything about color theory, or even if you just want to have a go, you can mix the colors and I will show you how to do that. Right, so make sure your board is clear of any debris, sand, anything like that. I'm going to get our double-sided sticky tape, okay? And what we're going to do, so there's a bigger piece underneath, if you can see that. So the top piece is a little bit smaller than the underneath piece. We're going to peel the top piece off, and what that will do is pull away from the bottom. So between these 2 pieces of paper, there's a very, very thin, sticky layer that we're going to be able to use on our board. What I'd like you to do is take this off, try and avoid getting your fingerprints on it as much as you can. You don't have to take the whole thing off because if you want to save a bit of this, you absolutely can. And I'm pretty sure does it fit that way? No, it doesn't. Ah, just what I've said. I've just stuck my fingerprints all over it. We're going to stick it down on the board, but we are going to allow enough to overlap the sides because what we want is for the sand to stick down the sides. Can you see that there? I don't know if you can because the light's a bit too bright, I think. So if you can see down the sides, you've got different colours. So what we want is for this to overlap. So I'm just going to stick it down roughly. It doesn't have to be exact, as long as you've got enough to go round the outside on all four sides. If you want to keep that end bit, you absolutely can, but you don't have to. Push it down really hard. And I've even still got some debris underneath, but it doesn't matter because once you've pulled the edges off, it does stick down pretty close. Right, now what I'd like you to do is get your craft knife. Be very careful with these. Anybody, I'm not responsible if you're going to cut your fingers or anything. Please be careful. They are super, super sharp, okay? We are going to just cut down the extra long side, but making sure we leave enough space on each for it to overlap, okay? So just cut straight down, roughly. Be careful if you've got anything underneath, like your table. If you need to use your box, sit it on top of your Curious Octopus box if you need to make sure that it doesn't go through to your table. Right, when you've done that, you should have something that looks a bit like that. So you've got the overlap. Now, on each of your corners, I want you to, if you watch me first, stick your craft knife as if you're going to go out away from your board. Stick it in right at the corner right at the corner of the where the wood meets the edge of the paper. So you're going to stick it in and you're going to cut a diagonal slit away from the edge of the paper. I don't know if you can see that there. So I went in here and I cut away, okay? So into that corner, right up against the wood, and I cut diagonally away. So if you can see, can you see that? I hope you can. Do you get what I mean? I hope you get what I mean. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a heart or something. And I want you to do that on every corner, basically. So we're going to stick the knife in right on the corner and then diagonally pull away, and you're making a diagonal cut. It doesn't have to be exactly diagonal. Don't worry about measuring the degree and the angle. Just roughly cut a diagonal line away from each corner of the block. Then that will allow you to fold each one of these over. So you can fold them as close to the board as you can. And the board will then, the sticky, double-sided sticky stuff will stick all the way down the edge of your board. Okay, so then we're going to do that all the way around, push from the bottom over. So you've got it as close to the edge of the board as possible. We're going to do it all the way around. So push down, push back. And he's got a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Now these corners will stick together. That's okay. Right, push back. Right, when these corners meet, pinch the corners really tight so that you've got, again, the sticky back plastic right up to the corners. Push them both together. You can almost like pinch them together, and then we're going to cut that little corner bit off. Okay. Okay, right, when you've pinched all four sides and you've got a little lip on the edge, we're just going to cut that off with our craft knife. So just, if you hold, trying to do it so you can see it, you just hold the tag, and then with your craft knife, please be careful of your fingers and cut straight down. And that should, I nearly stabbed myself then. Let's do that again. It's sometimes easier if you do it whichever angle is easiest for you, but cut the excess off. Don't go too close to the wood because you do want a slight extra bit to overlap because you don't want to leave a space. It's not going to make much difference if you do, but you know, try not to go too close to the edge. Right, now, once we've done our 4 corners, we have our board that is ready for us. Put your lid back on your craft knife for the minute. You don't want to be ever leaving a craft knife exposed. Some of them will need a tighten. Mine was a little bit loose, so they will just kind of screw to be tighter. Right, and some of these are a little bit longer, so you can do it so that they will bend all the way over, keep going all the way over. So if you need to, bend the excess all the way over. Mine goes over 2.5 sides. And it's good to put the edge on the table, and you can cut the bit sticking out of it. That helps. Yeah, that's great. So you put the edge on the table like that. That's good. And then cut the edge. So, and then actually you can use the table to make sure it's all pushed down. Right, now we are going to draw our design. For my, I do love a seaside design, so I do always do a seaside design. I'm going to be doing this one again. What I need is one vertical line going all the way across, roughly the middle of my page. So I'm going to use my permanent marker and a box or a piece of paper or anything that you've got with a straight line. I did have a ruler here somewhere. There's a ruler. Sorry. But anything you've got with a straight line. But if you don't want to follow this, you're very welcome to do whatever you want. I would try and make it about as detailed as this. Well, you can make it more detailed if you want. That's absolutely fine. You can make it as detailed as you want. But when you're cutting out the shapes, it's going to take a little bit longer. But that's absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. Right, I'm going to draw a line roughly. I am going to mark it just roughly to see so that I can get my first line straight. But if you've just got a straight edge, just eyeball it. I'm just going to do maybe just under 110. I feel like it's getting hotter in the evenings, don't you find? It's absolutely crazy. Right, so one straight line straight across the middle of the piece. And this is very slippery. You'll also find the permanent, nothing sticks to this stuff. I was going to send out pencils, nothing sticks to it. So just be careful you don't knock it and wipe this away. It's quite good. You can kind of wipe it away if you make a mistake, but not completely. It is still a permanent marker. So I'm doing a straight line across. I'm now going to do my little hills, my little purple hills. So can you see that shape? We're going to do down, and it's about 1/3 of the way across. Sorry, the darker of the purple hills. Can you see there's a darker one there? And then there's a slightly lighter one behind. So I'm just gonna roughly do a little line for my purple hill. And then another one comes out just a little bit behind that. It really doesn't matter. Please don't try and be too precise or particular. I've got 1, 2, 3 lines above that, just wiggly lines to give a bit of a texture in the sky. Can you see? So there's a line there. So here, a line there. And there is one. On 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so there's the lighter. Right, I might need to turn this light down a little bit. So I don't know if you can see it well. That's better. So can you see there's a slightly lighter color there, a darker there, and a darker there. So I'm going to do a wiggly line just above this. You can see it easier on the zoom. So I'm going to do a slightly wiggly line from my second hill. And these don't really matter how they look. I wouldn't go too wiggly, just a little bit of a wave. And then 2 more lines. And then I try and make my lines not quite match each other. Right, so that's that. I'm going to do the shape of a sun, anything circular. I could use one of my pots. However low you want your sun to be setting, I'm going to have maybe 2/3 of it showing. There, just draw around one of your pots if you want, or if you're happy drawing your own circle, you can do that. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. From where the edge of the sun meets the sea, the horizon line, I'm just going to do, so we're going to do this wiggly line of the reflection of the sun. And I'm just going to do, so imagine kind of a triangle, and it's going to meet at the bottom in the middle of the sun. So I'm just going to do a wiggly line. If I do a dot here, so underneath the sun, about here, and then I'm going to do a wiggly line roughly ending up somewhere near that line. Okay, so can you see that? It kind of goes diagonally in. And then I'm going to do another one, but I'm almost going to follow where that curve went. So where this one goes out that way, I'm going to come in first and then go out, in, out. So let me show you. So like that, can you see? Again, it does not have to be perfect. It's just a little wiggly line. I can show you the hills again. So let me show you here. So you've got one, look at the distance from there to there and there to there. I'm just going to go up and over and then just kind of do a kind of like an S into the sea. But if you can make make it almost like blend into the sea. When you come down, make it blend into the sea. And then the second one comes from the first hill, just slightly behind it. And then again, make it kind of blend into the sea like that way. Does that explain it very well? Right. This one is kind of coming up much bigger than my last one, but that's fine. Right, now I'm going to do, this is lots of wiggly lines here. I'm going to do a wiggly line from just underneath where my horizon meets the edge of the, I'll do it so that I can show you both at the same time. Right, just slightly under where the horizon meets the edge of the board. Just about here. And I'm going to do one wiggly line that then, if I do a bit of a dot here, and then a bit of a dot here. So if you do a dot, let me show you, like that far down from the horizon, you see? Just a little bit down, three millimeters or so down from the horizon. And then to maybe an inch, I'm going from metric to whatever, aren't I? Maybe 3 or 4, maybe 3 centimeters up from the other side. And then we're going to do a wiggly line to join the two, okay? Not too wiggly, just like a big elongated S maybe. Okay, you see that? That is our line that divides the sea from the beach. Okay. At maybe just underneath where the end of the sun reflection is, I'm going to do a dot on that line underneath. Put your pen on that line. I think this is also backwards, so that might, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, does it? Right, put a dot on your thing and maybe a centimeter underneath here where this line ends here. I don't know if this is helpful. So about a centimeter under there and a dot from there. And we're going to roughly follow that line. Really hard to see from there, isn't it? We're going to roughly follow the shoreline, gradually making it just a little bit bigger. So we're going to add a line a bit like that. Can you see that? So it just splits off a little bit. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. And if you're getting frustrated with the way that I'm describing it, do your own thing. Absolutely. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so from now, so that tiny little thin bit is going to be the white of the shore. Okay, it's going to be like this bit of the shore. Okay, the white bit of the sea meeting the sand. So this bit underneath is going to be divided into 4 different colors. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, it's just slightly wiggly lines, wherever you want them to start, wherever you want them to stop. Okay. So divide that bottom bit now into 4 sections. And we'll leave this here for reference while I'm doing it. I can put my elbow on it to help. 1, two, so it'd be three lines, dividing it into 4. If you do more, doesn't matter. You can mix more sand. You can do more of a gradual sand mix. When you've done that, I think what I've done with the sea is 3 different colors for the sea. So I'm going to do 1. So as the sea moves away from you, it's darker, okay? the sea that you can see closer to you is lighter. The sea that you can see further away is darker. So we're going to save our blue, our pure blue, for the darkest part of the ocean. And then we're going to bring it lighter, more green, because the green is slightly lighter as you come forward. So you can divide this into as many colors as you want, as many sections as you want. I'm going to divide it, but also there are shallower and deeper parts of the ocean. So if you want to, with this one, I have actually created, can you see where my finger is there? Just a little green wave that goes in just to about there. You see it a bit better on the zoom. So what I'll do here is just a little, you see that there? Just a little wiggly line that stops halfway in, something like that. And then another S shape that's going to go, it doesn't matter if you draw through your reflection, because you can know we're not going to actually do that through the reflection. So you can, if you need to carry on, you can rub that little bit out in between the reflection. Okay, and that's all we're doing. Is there any bits that you need me to repeat? Oh, hang on. No, we haven't finished. We haven't finished yet. But are we all good with that for the minute? We are now going to make some little sand dune plants. So all we do with that is some elongated diamond shapes, very, very tall, thin leaf shapes. Okay, so I'm just going to go, I'm only going to do them in the first couple of sections of in the bottom right for me. It might be the bottom left for you. I don't know which way around you've done this. So can you see that little upwards leaf shape? And then I'm going to do some smaller ones next to it, pointing out a little bit. There. And then some smaller ones again, pointing out a little bit further. They don't have to be perfect. You're going to cut them slightly different anyway. Can you see those? So draw yourself however many you want of those. I think on my other one, I've done 3 with a little one with only 4 little leaves. So do whatever you want. Just put a couple of these little plants. Obviously, the ones that are closer to you are going to be bigger. Any that are slightly further away from you are going to be slightly smaller. So think a little bit about your perspective. And again, they don't have to be perfect. Okay. Are we all happy? Have we all done our drawing? If you want to add anything else, you are very welcome. But for now, I think we're going to start cutting. Right, so if we're all good to go, what we need to do now is get our craft knife again. Be very careful with your craft knife. Do not cut your fingers, please. So what we're going to do is just very gently is cut through the paper. You don't need to cut very deep because we don't need to be cutting through the wood. It doesn't really matter if you do, not right through. But all we need to do really is cut through the top layer of our paper. Try not to use your hands to smudge the rest of it, but as close as you can, we're going to follow the lines that we have drawn and just press and make sure, like I said, tighten your craft knife, make sure it's tight enough so it's not going to slip around anywhere. And then just run. This is where your nice smooth S shapes will come in handy because you can just gently pull towards you. Don't ever try and cut like at funny angles. The best thing to do is pull slightly towards you, but make sure your fingers are out the way. Okay. So I'm going to be doing all of my lines. If you turn it around this way, you can just hold the board, pull towards you, and cut out. Try and go with the flow of where your knife goes. You don't have to be exact with your, if it's not quite sticking to where you've drawn your lines, it doesn't matter. Go with the flow. The one thing I would say though is make sure that when you do your lines that join, so when you get to your hills, I would almost cut just a little bit further than the line. It doesn't matter if you go too far over. Because you want to know that you've definitely cut through the paper and the join. So you want to make sure that you've got each section is completely cut out. Do you know what I mean? Right, I'm cutting out my hills. And as you get used to it, you'll realize you really don't need to put that much pressure on. Cutting my horizon line straight down. You can use the ruler or your guide for this if you want to, but you don't have to. Cutting out my sun. This one's a bit more tricky. You might need to turn your paper round, your board round. Okay, and then just keep cutting each one of your lines, making sure it crosses over any lines that it joins, just slightly to make sure that they are all cut out properly. Everybody's okay. Let me know if you're not. It's very quiet. It's like the old days where we didn't have the Zoom on. Nobody's joined Zoom tonight, which is absolutely fine, but I'm kind of missing having a chat. Mm, Okay. I'm going to go from the other side to do my sea lines. Sea lines, not sea lions, because it's easier to pull away from you. When you go to the bottom, you can just cut through where your little plants are. That's absolutely fine. It doesn't really matter. Just cut straight through, and then we're going to cut out the little plants. And the reason why we've done plants this shape is because they're easier to cut out. Okay. So with your plants, it's literally just, I mean, you'll work it out, but you'll literally start at the top of each leaf and pull down. Start at the top again. Make sure you start where the original leaf started, and then pull down. And each of the leaves are ending roughly in the same place. Okay. Is everybody okay? It seems so quiet again. I'm sure once the kids are all back to school, the holidays finish. And then the Zooms will be busy again. Okay. Right, so I have cut all of my lines. You can't really see it from there. But when you finish cutting your lines, what you need to do is go round to the edges. So every point where you have a line that meets the edge of your card, I want you to do a line, a cutting from that edge straight down. Again, please be careful. Don't get your fingers in the way. You can follow the angle of the line. You can go straight down if you want, but if the angle of your thing is coming diagonally, then carry on the line diagonally underneath. Try and match it up exactly. On the side, the horizon lines, they can go straight back. You don't have to match the angle there, but you can if you want. Just make sure you get your craft knife right in the groove of where you cut your line originally, because we want them to match right up. Don't forget your horizon line, skylines, and your hills. Keep your fingers out the way. Nobody wants cut fingers. Don't need them on the top. And again, if any of them come right around the end, we're going to do the same again, just to cut those off. It's quite easy to do right when you're right around the other side. But this mostly just helps because it will release the paper. Is everybody okay? Is any of that too complicated? Are you all cutting my name right now? Or are you okay? The plants, absolutely. That's completely fine. One set. Right. Cutting the plants or drawing the plants? I assume cutting the plant. Oh, drawing the plants. Yeah. Right. Maybe I should just get some actual paper. Oh gosh, this keeps sticking to me. So sorry. Right, hang on, let me get some print paper. I'll draw a big version of it, and then you'll be able to see. And I'll do it. Move this down a little bit. So you're going to be doing just elongated diamonds, like a rounded diamond, just kind of like a big long leaf like that. I'm doing this upside down, so this is the bottom for you, okay? And then a slightly shorter one here. It doesn't matter if they overlap here. And then another slightly shorter one here. Something like that. So this top one is the longest one. This one is slightly shorter. And then these ones come out slightly shorter again. So just you can do them quite thin if you want, or a bit more thick. But just that kind of long, thin leaf shape. And when you cut them, you start at the top point. You can see this. I would start at the top point when I'm cutting, put your knife in that point, pull down and cut round, and then make sure that you join up and cut round again. I didn't even match that line then, but it's roughly there. Again, with this, and it doesn't matter if they overlap like that. You're pulling down and cutting through a few. I'm on my cutting board, so it doesn't really matter. When I'm going to pull them out. This is roughly the shape we're going to be left with that we can stick the sand to. So can you see, I haven't even really stuck to the lines that much, but that is kind of the, you can see the purple through where the sand is going to stick. So everywhere that we then take those pieces off, we're going to stick sand to. So let me know when you're all done, when you're all cut and you're all done, and we will start with our sand sticking. Again, lid on the craft knife. Right, I'm going to arrange these and take the lids off. Another bite. Oh. Right, are we all good? How are you doing, Hendy? I couldn't find the little scoopies that I've given you guys, so I've got a bigger one. So I'm really sorry if this might be a bit of overkill, but you guys have got much more of a precise scoopy. Mine will probably be a bit overkill. I hope you're all doing okay. I hope I haven't done something wrong with the Zoom and I've made it so that I haven't allowed people to come in. Imagine if everyone's waiting in the waiting room. I don't think they are. I haven't had any notifications. But hopefully. Let me know when everybody is good to go. Let's move this up a little bit again. Well, thanks for the likes, everybody. I don't know who else we've got in here watching. Let me know. Say hello if you are watching. I'm just about to get to the good bit. And just a reminder for anyone that is new here, this is Curious Octopus, and we send out a new craft kit every month, and we make something different every single month. So this month we're making sand art. Before we've done mosaics, we've done glass resin flowers, as you can see behind me. These. We've done macrame, we've done glass painting, we've done polymer clay earrings, which I should be wearing, shouldn't I? We've done loads of different things. Kintsugi, Kinusaiga. She is in, she's not in bed. She is upstairs. Hello, who is that? Lil, not me. Yeah, so we learn a different craft every month. I send out a box and everything you need is in the box, as you can see, and we learn a different craft every month. Lily from Hughes. Ah, hello, Lily. So, are we all ready to do some sand art and stick it all down? I might do mine upside down so you guys can always see what I'm doing. I hope you can see what I'm doing. It's kind of hard with the hopefully you'll be able to see a bit more when the colours start going on. So let's get going. First, what we're going to do is do the plants because they are the ones, they just fell off. They are the things that we want to stand out from the rest, okay? So we're going to use our craft knife just to pick up the edge of the paper and it'll just peel off. Let me see if I can get my, you see here, I've just pulled that little edge off and then you can peel it off. Where you've cut through it, you'll have to peel it off twice. It doesn't matter if there's a line through it. So just try and peel off where your leaves are. Leave the rest of the sticker down. All we're peeling off here is where the plant is. And we can do all of our plants. You can peel off the top layer from each one of your plants because we're going to do all of this just green. this bit is probably the fiddliest bit. When you start getting to the bigger bits, not fiddly at all, but these leaf bits are quite fiddly. And this is where you'll really notice if you've cut right to the edge of each section or whether you didn't quite do it. Okay. Are we all good to go? Right, what I'm going to do now is just get a little bit of my green sand, just scoop a little bit up with my scoop, and I'm going to pour it next to where I want my sand to stick. Can you see that? So I've got my 3 plants, and then I'm going to use my paintbrush to smush. It's my favorite word at the moment. You just pull the sand over the top of where the exposed stickers are, and the sand will stick beautifully to where the sticky bit is exposed. Oh, I've missed a little bit there. But that's fine, it doesn't matter. I can go back with my craft knife, peel off that extra little section, get a little bit of the sand and smush it in. And then I'm going to smush that all over the few plants that I've got there. Try and smush it in every direction. So you're basically rubbing the sand over the top of each of the sections and pushing it in all different directions. So I'd push it from the left to the right, and then you'll have a little bit of sand on the right, and then you can smush it in the other direction. And what we want to do is make sure every bit of that stickiness that's exposed is covered in sand. And you can also kind of dab it on top just to make sure it really is smushed right down. Okay. I could move this. It's a bit closer. Not going to be better for you? I don't want it to be in the way of the other shot, but oh, that's good, isn't it? Rot my bone. Is that better? Can you see that better? Is that okay for you guys? It's not too in the way. Sorry, there's leaves everywhere. What a blinking mess. But then I can't see what you're saying. There we go. Is that better? That should be better for you. Whew. Right. So can you see that I was smushing the sand around, over the top, left and right? You don't need loads of sand because it will stick to the section straight away. And then you can just tip up your, I'm not going to do it right here because I don't want sand right next to where I'm doing it, but move it over here. You can just tip it up, brush it off, and there you have some sand stuck to where we want it to be stuck. You can use your paintbrush again to smush off any excess, or even your hand. Doesn't really matter because once it's stuck down, it's stuck. It's created the colour where we want the colour. Are we all good? I hope we're all good. Shout if it's not good. Shout if you're not good. Right. So for these 4 sections here, what I'm going to do is I want 4 different variations of orange fading into yellow. Okay, so I'm going to start with this second section here because this is just purely orange. Okay, so I'm going to do, that's this section here, the second one up, not the complete corner one, the second one up. So I'm going to get my craft knife again. You can probably do this from the side. Sometimes you can just literally unpeel from the side, because if you've done your cuts properly around the side, that will just peel off. And here's the satisfying bit. You can just peel this whole section off now. Be very careful, don't rip it off quickly, because if there are any bits that you haven't cut properly, it will start peeling off the next section. So here, there's a little bit where it almost goes backwards around the plant. So I'm going to use my craft knife there. Peel it off gradually. Don't go too quick. And then peel off the end. Okay. So can you see I've exposed that little bit there now? I have just noticed a little section in between that plant that should come out, that little bit there. So I'm going to take that out with my craft knife. So be mindful of those little sections there. But this is where it gets really exciting, because you would expect the next color to stick to where the green is, but it doesn't. It's so satisfying. So next, I'm going to get some orange. Are you guys all okay? Are you up to date? Are you all gone very quiet? So with this, I'm going to pour this orange straight onto my bit that I want it to go on. You don't need loads of sand. Can you see how much sand I've put on there for that bit? Just a little bit of sand. And that is probably going to cover the whole thing. You can always add more, but you don't want to cover your whole area in loads of sand. So this is the bit that's super satisfying. You can go over where the green is and it will stick only around it. It's like painting with sand. Diane's all good, good. And so, just gonna smush it all about. Hendy, you all good? Smush it all the way to the edge. Again, try and do it in every direction, but how satisfying is that? Smush it over the top of the green, and the green has stayed where the green should be, and the orange will stick around it. Smush right to the edges. And again, in every direction. And then I'm gonna top it off and look at the cut. The difference where the green is and where the orange is. It's just, I haven't actually smushed it off properly yet. But the level of accuracy that you can get, super satisfying. Oh, stuck my finger to the edge. Can you see? So what you can do now is get a bit more of your orange. You can pick it up with your paintbrush if you want, or you can pick it up with your little scoopy and put some on the edge because we want this color to go down all around the outside as well. Same again here, just pour a little bit on the side. You are going to have sand on your floor and everywhere else. So I'm sorry about that, but it'll be worth it for your lovely artwork. Ooh, there's a little bit that I haven't peeled off properly. That's no good. I want a nice clean line. Thank you very much. Smushing. Isn't it smushing? Okay. Real good. Right. The next one I'm going to do is the pure yellow. So we've got the orange, not the next one up, the one closest to the shoreline. This is the one I'm going to do in yellow. Okay, so we're going to do that one next. Because again, it's a whole color. And just for the minute, look, there's a bit that I haven't cut properly. I'm just going to cut that one off. Be very careful, peel it off very carefully. Don't pull it too tight, too quickly. So if there are any bits you've missed, it will rip the next bit off. And once it's lifted, it's hard to keep those crisp lines. Right, now your corner one is quite tricky. You might want to do a little diagonal line because this one will go over both corners. So you might want to cut this corner piece into that corner so that you can remove that piece that way and that piece that way. See what I mean? And then we're going to repeat our process with our yellow. Get a scoop of yellow. This is quite a big section. I'm just going to put a little bit of sand all over. And we're going to smush it in. Smush, smush, smush. Oh, so satisfying. Just smush it back and forth. I think I'm overusing the word smush now. And it's amazing how far that little scoop of sand will go. But this is a lovely craft to do for cards, you know, greetings cards, that kind of thing. Because once it's stuck down, it's going nowhere. And again, we're going to do the edges. Why is there a child sneaking around? And the other edge. Washing. Then we have our yellow line and our orange line. Okay. So you could probably do with a dustpan and brush or something where you're doing this. There's going to be sand everywhere. Or a little handheld hoover if you've got one. Right, now I'm going to get rid of that extra sand. So now I'm going to show you how to do the mixing. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix our yellow and our orange for this middle section between the yellow and the orange, okay? So it's quite a big section. So we're going to try and make sure we've got enough sand. Oh, I was going to ask if you need to add something to fix it in place. That's great if it doesn't. No, the sand is once it's there, it's there. It's going to stay. I mean, this has nothing on the top of it. You can rub it quite vigorously. I mean, I wouldn't go scratching it, but yeah, it basically is like sandpaper now. You could even make like, what about if you've got like some tradie in your family, you could make like some sandpaper for them to use with their something personal on it, and then they'll ruin the artwork and sand it away. But it's a suggestion. You can make your own sandpaper. Right, so I'm going to mix an equal amount. I'm going to get quite a big scoop of yellow, and I'm going to get a big scoop of orange. And it doesn't matter if it goes on the other bits that are already there. I'm going to get my paintbrush, and I'm just going to mix these two colours together. Very roughly, it doesn't matter. Just keep them on your board. But you can mix them on top of any of the pieces that you've already done. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be on the white. It can be over the top of the yellow. It's absolutely fine because that, if you've done it right, is stuck. Nothing else is going to stick to it. And it's not gonna affect it at all. So once you've got the color that you want, it's far enough away from the orange and the yellow. And even if it's slightly similar, it's surprising how changing the tone, like just mixing a little bit of other color into it, will change the color. So now I'm going to pull off this next section. Get my craft knife. Oh, just noticed a tiny bit where there should be orange. So I'm just gonna leave that bit stuck down. It's a tiny little bit between that, between two of my leaves, but it's absolutely fine because I can fix that later. Right, so where I'm going to cover this, all I do is use my paintbrush and push that color onto the section that I've just peeled off. Okay. Thank you very much for all of the likes. Oh my goodness, who's liked it that much? Thank you so much. If you have any spare time to do some likes, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. It helps to spread the word. Right, now, if you want this color, so this is a mixed color though, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So if you can pick up any of this to stick to the sides, I would try and do that. Or you can find a space where you haven't poured any of your sand. Oh, hang on, I haven't even done it right to the edge yet. Once you know it's completely on where it needs to be on the face of the picture, I push it all to one little section, like sweep it up into one little section, all the excess, and then tip it off in one place. You see that I've got a little section there, and then you can dip that in about there. And that should cover it. And scoop any excess up if you want to. And again on that side, dip it in. And that has covered that little section. So now can you see those three different, slightly different coloured bits of the sand? I'm going to try and get all that excess off. I'm going to touch up that little bit of orange that I missed. Can you see that I've left a tiny little bit of white there? But if you notice that, it's absolutely fine because you can take it off. And even if it is a mixed colour, you'll know roughly what you've done. And you're not going to notice it too much. A tiny bit of orange for that little section. Stick it on, and that's that done. For this bottom corner, I'm going to do a mixture of the orange and the red because I want it to be a reddy orange. So same again. I'm going to get a little bit of orange, scoop of orange, and you, like I said, you can mix it directly onto where the sand has already been. It doesn't matter. And the same amount of red. I'm going to mix it all in with my paintbrush. And then I'm going to peel off the paper. And again, so this is one of the corners. We don't want that to, it's quite tricky to peel off. So what I'm going to do is do a little incision from the corner up to one of the leaves, if it matches there, just so that we've got, you can almost do each edge separately. Makes it a little bit easier. Once you get into the swing of it, it's so satisfying, this, I find. All your little sections off. Everybody okay? So I just stick my nose in. Right, and then I'm smushing this orangey red over there. Cover all this section. Okay, and again, when I've done the top section, I'm going to move it all into one little section so that I can pour it off and dip the edges in. A little section there. Dip that edge in. A bit there. Bit of ASMR listening to the sand being brushed, is it? Should have got my microphone out as well, made it real. Maybe I'll make some ASMR videos of it. Okay, just making sure it's all, you can even smush down from the top if you want to. But that should all be done. Ooh, there might be a tiny bit. Yeah, a tiny bit of extra paper there. Get off. Get off. There we go. Down and smush it off. So can we see this image coming together now? All the different blends of colours. Right. I'm next going to do the sun, I think. But it's completely up to you what you want to do. Mixing colours. Oh, I keep thinking people are commenting that it's AI telling me what's going on. Can you see that AI summary as well? Just gonna have a little drink. Wow, thank you very much for the likes, everybody. I really appreciate it. Oh, you can't see it. I don't know why it tells me the AI summary. I know what I'm doing. It tells me I'm mixing colours to create different sand art effects. Suggest a colour. Oh, it's telling me how to teach as well. Suggest a colour to try next. Okay, everybody. I'm going to do yellow next. We're going to do the sun next. Let's do a pure yellow. Oh, I haven't opened the sand colour. Well, it's completely up to you. I actually might do yellow mixed with the sand colour for the sun this time to make it slightly less yellowy. Shall I? Yeah, why not? So I'm going to peel off the sun. Oh no, hang on. No, I'm not. I'm going to mix first, aren't I? Right, I'm going to do half yellow, mostly yellow, and a little bit of the kind of natural sand colour to lighten it a little bit. And I'm going to mix it all up. And if I don't like it, I'll add some more of something else. That's quite a nice sunshine colour. Let's go with that. Right, peel off the sun. And smush it on. How are you guys finding this? Is it satisfying or is it annoying? Is it a good one? A good craft for you guys that have received the box this month? Okay, sunshine. And then I might keep that colour there and add a bit of orange to do the reflection. Now in my one before, I did quite a bright orange. I did yellow and orange, but I think I'm going to keep it a bit more similar, but just add a little bit of orange this time. Because the reflection probably should be similar colour to the sun, shouldn't it? Okay, when you're happy with your colour, I'm going to peel off our section of paper. Satisfying, yes. Finding sand for the next few weeks might be frustrating. Yeah, sorry about that. This is a satisfying one to peel off. I know. I think you're just going to have to put everything away and hoover everything. I don't know if that's different enough to really recognize that there's a difference between the horizon and the sun, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Right, I'm going to start getting rid of all my excess over here so that I haven't got loads of sand underneath where I'm working. I mean, I have got loads of sand underneath where I'm working, but not more than I need to have. Okay, so I'm happy with my sunshine. Can you see that? And you can even, if you want to, you can blend. You can put like slightly dark around the outside. I should have told you that before I started. You can blend one color into the other. Like you can really play around with this if you want to. Right, I'm going to do the shoreline now. So I'm going to just use the natural color of sand for the section where the beach meets the sea. Are you guys keeping up with me, or are you a couple of steps behind? Whereabouts are you? I have a feeling it might be like tinsel. You think you got it all months later, you find more. I know. I mean, we live by the sea anyway, so we're kind of used to it. There's normally sand somewhere. The kids come in with sand all over their feet. Everything feels a bit gritty for a little while. But it's fine. I walk around bare feet all the time. And yeah, I think when I did this last time, it was driving me mad because there was sand everywhere. So I kept having to hoover. It's not too bad. If you do give it a good hoover, it should be fine. I hoovered the top of this and then all over the floor. And it was fine. Again, I'm gonna dab that off there so I can get the edge. I think I've got it. Right, should we do some of the sea? I'm going to do the full blue part first, the darkest blue. So the top part of blue is going to be the darkest blue. Like I said, when you're looking at the sea, the deepest parts are darker. So normally the bits that are furthest away from you are going to be darker. So we're going to do that in just pure blue, because that is the color that we have that is the darkest. So, craft knife. Don't forget, you should have a little bit on the other side of your sunshine. If you've gone through your if you've gone through the reflection. Right, I want this yellowy orange stuff to be out of my way now. If you do have a dustpan and brush, that might be worth grabbing. I mean, it doesn't matter too much, but it might help. Okay, adding a bit of blue. This is where it really starts to come to life when you start adding the other colors. Ooh. This again, it's so satisfying. With other mediums, you've got to be so careful. Like there's no way that you'd be able to paint blue on top of where you've just done yellow. But with this, look, if you see this, I'm going to put this blue straight over the top of the yellow, and then you can just rub it all away, and it won't stick to where you've put your yellow, as long as you've smushed your yellow down properly. It's just so satisfying. I love it. I mean, it'll smush away properly when I stand it up. Look at that. How lovely is that? Find a little space for each colour. Tip it off. Dab it in. Lovely. And then, yeah, tap it off. And look at that yellow. No blue in it whatsoever. It's great. How great is that? The kids have not, do you know what? My kids are so creative, but they both pretty much refuse to do any of my Curious Octopus stuff with me. I'm like, come on. You know, when they're making, I don't know, cards for family members and things, I'm like, oh, actually, I did get them to do, I got my son to do some paper quilling for some cards for family members. Um, Apart from that, yeah, they just want to do their own thing. And I'm like, but I've got all this equipment, I've got all this stuff, and we can make something really cool. No, okay. They're really into Lego at the moment. I think I've got sand up my nose. So Lego's taking a lot of their creative space and creative time at the moment. But yeah, I'm sure they will do. At some point, I'm sure they'll be like, oh, can I make some of that? I know, I know. My son also quite liked, we did the glass resin flowers, and actually my dad's getting married at some in this year. I nearly said at some point. He's getting married this year. And he's asked for us to make some glass resin flower things for the tables. So I think me and the kids will be getting involved making some of those. So that'll be fun. I'm hoping that they'll help me. Right, I'm going to do my little extra wave in green. And then I might actually, again, mix in a bit of the natural colour for this to make it stand out a little bit more. But be creative. We are going to be really busy, but it's nice to be creatively busy, isn't it? I think. A little bit of the natural colour. Make that lighter, that slightly lighter green. And then I'm going to smush it over. Have I made enough? Maybe not. Yeah, it's plenty. I know, I would have absolutely loved it. If I mean, my mum was creative. My mum is quite creative. And she would do watercolors and oil paintings and stuff when we were younger. I can't really remember doing, well, we probably did do stuff with her, but we were probably not interested like my kids. It was probably all there. I was busy painting. You know, you want to do your own thing, don't you, and your kids? You don't want to do what your mum suggested. Right, for the bigger bit of C, I'm just going to do green on its own. So this is the rest of the sea, the big section. Am I going to do green? No, I'm not. I'm going to do a mixture of green and blue. But it is a big section, so I'm going to get a lot of sand, a lot of sea. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? No, nothing. I'm just going to do... I don't know what I'm going to do. Whatever. Right, I'm just going to mix even green and blue, I think. And hopefully that's enough. And if it isn't, we'll mix some more. But you'd think because we've got green there and blue there that you wouldn't see the difference in the colors, but especially you might not be able to see it on the camera, but you absolutely will be able to see it in real life. It is a different color. Okay. Let's peel off this big section. Oh, it's going to be a satisfying one. It's going to come off in one piece because it's all that's left. Yeah, look at that. Ooh. Smashing. I remember creating pictures with crayons and iron and newspaper to create. Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, I forgot that. Oh, I feel like you've just brought back some childhood memories. Yeah, I wonder what did we used to do? Ironing crayon. Did you draw onto paper and then could you iron it onto clothes or something? News. Oh God, that feels really familiar, but I can't really remember what we did. I feel like it's the kind of thing we did in brownies or something. It's smashing. There's a tiny bit on the tail of the reflection that should be, oh, what was that color? That one there. No, I've missed. Sometimes you don't see it until you get all of the rest of it on. Right, I'm going to do that bit here. Oh, that's a lovely color, that mixture of the blue and the green. And I feel like that extra. Can you see that? That lovely sea. Love it. You're scraping the wax onto the paper, iron it, then put some scrunch paper over it. Yeah. Gosh, it's so weird, isn't it? When these things come up and you're like, oh gosh, I remember that. Do you remember putting crisp packets in there? Was it us, Diane? We're talking about, was it us? No, someone else, I think. Or was it you? We are talking about those shrinkies and putting crisp packets in the oven to shrink them to like miniature versions. Yeah, the tip of that. So I think it was, what's the color? I think it was this one. So this is good because if you've missed a little bit, you can just pick it up from your little pile and add it in. Right. There might even be a little bit extra there as well. Yeah, there is. Oh, apparently Tonight until 5:30 a.m. there's going to be a massive meteor shower with about 500 to 100 shooting stars per hour. So if you are up, my mum's friend who did this with me, not using her good iron there. Yeah, my iron has only ever been used for crafting. I mean, I had no plug on my iron for 3 years, and then I only rewired it because I needed to do some crafting. Bit of a joke in my family. Right. We're going to do the land. So I'm going to start with, again, with the horizon. As the land is closer to you, it will be darker. And as the land gets further away from you, it gets slightly lighter. So if you're drawing, you've seen people drawing mountains and, you know, layers of woodland and that kind of thing. The things that are closest to you are going to be darker. The things that are further away. So these two bits of land, the closer one's going to be darker. The one further away is going to be slightly lighter. So I'm going to do the closer one with the pure purple. I'm going to do the one behind. I'm just going to make that purple slightly lighter with the natural sand color. Okay. Land ahoy, me hearties. Exactly. And do you know what? It really starts to come together as you start using all these different colors. It really does. And I'm going to save the pinks and the reds for the sky. Okay, I'm going to do that one over there, the purple. Not loads of extra on that, but that's fine. It's just pure purple, so I can get some extra. Okay, in this next little section, purple and a bit of the natural sand color. Make it a bit lighter. I might do a little bit of the light pink as well, actually. Mix it all in. Sometimes when I do this, I think, oh, the color's not different enough. And then when you get rid of the excess, you're like, oh no, it does look quite different. Even with just a little bit of extra color added in, it does make a difference. You see that? Look at that. Isn't it starting to look cool? I hope yours are all starting to look cool like this as well. I'm sure they are. Right, I'm going to start from the top. I'm going to do the pure, am I? No, I'll do this one next, actually. No, I'll start from the top. I can't decide. Pure red on the top section. Again, I'm going to do a little incision that meets the corners so that it's easier for that to come off. And I'm going to unpeel all of this. This one goes all the way around to the back. Okay, I'm going to do just the pure red with this one. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Oh, thanks, Hendy. Right, pure red on the top. We're going to do the darkest bit of the sky at the top because it's furthest away from the sunshine. So the sky closest to the sun is going to be lighter and furthest away from the sun is going to be darker. So we're going to do the dark red in the furthest away section from the sun. And the reason why we didn't do the sky blue is because there's just going to be too much blue on here otherwise. And we want the differentiation and to use all of the colors. Right. Pour some of the red all along the top to cover that up. Okay, we've got a lovely red sky. Right, I'm going to miss a section and I'm going to do the next section down as the pink. And then we're going to mix those two colors. So next section down. So the one that in between. So we've got 3 sections left of the sky and I'm doing the middle section. That's a satisfying one to peel off. Oh, I'm not doing it upside down anymore, sorry. There we go. There you go. I stabbed myself. That was a bit silly. I should really have the lid on that craft knife. Do as I say, not as I do, as my mum used to say. Okay, pink, pink, pink. It's quite like I don't know if any of you were here long enough to do this Kinu Saiga box. Diane was. But this technique is quite like that. So the Kinu Saiga is a Japanese collage um, art form, and we use boards like this. We used a sticky back plastic again, but it was a much stronger. It was that 3M sticky back plastic, which is funny because that stuff is much more expensive, much more it's almost like a professional, it's what they use basically to stick, you know, in petrol stations where they've got the advertising things on the top of um the actual petrol pumps. It's the stuff that they use for that. So it's super, super sticky. It's really, really good stuff. And that's what we used when we did our Kinu Saiga, which is where you stick fabric onto a collage and then you kind of cut off the excess and stab it in. I used that stuff for this. I tried it for this, and it was nowhere near as accurate and as sticky as this stuff is. And it's literally just like sticky back paper bits rather than this like roll. So it's cheaper and it works so much better than the super expensive stuff, which was quite surprising for me because I bought it just in case to try a couple of different things. And yeah, this stuff worked way better. If you want to do any more, send me a message and I'll let you know where I got it from because I actually can't remember. Might have just been an Amazon thing actually. But you can get the sheets for quite cheap and then it's just literally double-sided sticky um double-sided sticky paper, I guess. Right, let's stick the edges down again, as we did before. Nearly there, guys. If you're roughly up to speed with where I am. Okay, second to last one. I'm going to do the section between the two, and I'm just going to mix the red and the pink to create a middle color from those. Pink, same amount of red. Mix it in. I forgot that's what it was called. I thought you were talking about the golden resin plate kits. Yeah, I know. They were similar. Kinu Saiga and Kintsugi. So yeah, Kintsugi was the fixing plates with gold. Kinu Saiga was the uh, fabric collage on, what was the backing board? Oh, it was foam board, wasn't it? It was foam board because you had to be able to cut into the foam board a little bit. That was so satisfying. I definitely do that one again. I might do that as a live workshop soon, actually. That was a really nice one. I need to stop doing landscapes though, don't I? Because I love a landscape. I'll do something different. Okay. Another satisfying piece to remove. Ah, please stick your finger to the side. Smushing, smushing, smushing. Right, let's make sure that goes all up to the edge. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to, oh, yes, I will, the edges. Okay, and my last section, I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do the light pink mixed with the natural sand color. That's going to be enough. It's quite a big section, isn't it? You should have absolutely plenty of sand as well. You're all excited about what other sand art projects you could do. I'm trying to think what else you could do. Probably do the side of vases. Make some nice. Oh, I wonder if we could put this on glass, like the outside of glass, and make like tea light holders. I bet the light would shine through this really nicely. I'm gonna have a go at that, see what it looks like. Make sure you only do it on the outside because we don't want any fire hazards. But I think that would be lovely. I'll have a go when I've got some spare time. Lid on. Still not doing it upside down for you, am I? Forgetting. Yeah, the sun's getting a bit uncomfortable under my elbows now. We are almost finished. How are you guys doing? Are you pretty much done, the same as me, or are you a little bit behind? How was the party going at yours, Diane? Curious Octopus party. I should have come over and done it from your house. Right. We're nearly done. Oh, I like it. Look at those lovely colours. Okay, I'm just going to smush the last bit in. Just wanted to use the word smush again, because when else are we going to use it? Tap it off on a section where there isn't any more sand. There's so much sand everywhere. And I am done. Right, I'm just going to brush off. One final tap. And there we go. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, exactly. As if by magic, we do. We have a picture made of sand art. How lovely is that? How are yours going? Do you like it? Do you love it? Are you happy with them? Or do you hate me for the amount of sand that's now in your house? Let me lift this up a little bit. What this stand today? I'm trying not to catch my... Oh, no. Oh, no. Send it off. Are you still there? I hope you're still... I've just locked my phone. No, you're still there. Good. Okay. How is everyone doing? Oh, we've got quite a few people on. Hello, everybody. Please say hello or give me a like or a thumbs up if you're watching silently. Have you enjoyed your sand art workshop this evening? So this is our August Curious Octopus box. I send out a craft kit every month, and we learn a different craft every month. So this is our sand art finished picture for this month. Next month we're doing something completely different. It's something that you will receive everything, and then we can go online and we can all make it together. And I also do a few in-person ones, currently only in Somerset, but I may be traveling a little bit further at some point. So yeah, let me know how you get on with yours. Please take some pictures and share it. I mean, it'd be great if you want to share it to your personal page, give me a tag. If you want to share it in our little closed Facebook group, you're very welcome to do that as well. But I hope you guys got on really well with that and you enjoyed yourselves. Mia has finished hers. Yes, Dawn and I are a bit slower. You would have been welcome here. Thank you. Yeah, send me some pictures. Let me know how you got on. Yeah, and that is our sand art workshop. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. And we've actually finished roughly on time this evening. I was thinking we might even finish a bit earlier, but you know, I do like to waffle on. Would you be able to let us know where we can get more boards and sticky back too, please? Yes, of course. I will. Shall I put it in the group? Because I don't know right now. I think I'll find out. I'll put some links in so you can buy the boards. I think I bought packets of 6 at a time, maybe. And the paper, yeah. Absolutely. No worries at all. Right. If everybody is all good and done, then I will love you and leave you. Thank you very much for joining, and for everybody that is watching again on YouTube. I really hope that you all have a lovely time making this. It was a very quiet one tonight, not having anyone on Zoom, but it's been lovely. Thank you very much, everybody. And I hope to see you all next month for a different craft. Yeah, there's absolutely loads. The sun goes so far, doesn't it? So you'll be absolutely making lots of creative things, and let me know what you make. Right, thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to end this. I'm going to end it. I don't know how to.